I've got to be honest with you guys. As a family, we've borrowed from our whole life insurance policies to pay off credit card debt, renovate the house, invest in real estate, pay for vacations, and loan money to family. Now, that might sound crazy to you, but believe me, once you learn what I know, you'll realize there's no better way to do it. My wife Amanda and I currently have 5 whole life policies we use to practice the concept of infinite banking. Not only do we implement this concept in our own lives, but we teach our clients all across the US how to do the exact same thing by financing their own lifestyle using cash value whole life insurance. Before breaking this all down, I want to point out that there is only one type of insurance product out there built to do this the safe way with no risk, and that's properly structured cash value whole life insurance. So, what exactly is cash value? Cash value is the present value of your future death benefit. Think about it like the equity in your home. Now, like I just mentioned, we're dealing with whole life insurance here, meaning it's going to cover you for your whole life. When you pay for your policy on a monthly or annual basis, that payment is called the premium. With a properly structured policy, that premium is going to be broken down into usually 2 parts: the base and the paid up additions, or PUA for short. In the first couple of years of your policy, those paid up additions are what's going to be creating the majority of the cash value that you have access to. Not all of it, but a good chunk. Every year you pay your premiums, or every time you add additional PUA, more cash value is guaranteed to show up in your policy because you've essentially created more access to the equity available from your death benefit. Now remember, your death benefit is guaranteed to pay out. That's your family's money. And contractually, your insurance company guarantees you that come age 100 or 121, depending on when it is that you got your policy, your death benefit and your cash value will equal one another. The cool thing is that it's basically like a race to the finish line that we know is going to end in a tie. What's even better is because we structure the policy in a specific way, every year your death benefit is going to increase. What's also really cool is when you add additional PUA or cash to your policy, not only does it become available cash for you to use right away, but it also purchases you more death benefit, which increases that gap even wider between your cash value and your now current death benefit. Now, I know you guys are smart enough to get where I'm going with this, but if adding additional cash to my policy increases my death benefit and making my normal premium payments increases my death benefit, and by doing those things, the gap between my death benefit and my cash value keeps increasing as time goes by, what does that mean by default has to happen to my cash value if they must equal each other at age 121? You guessed it. The growth of my cash value has to speed up. It has to get bigger, faster to catch up with the death benefit. So a lot of people think that life insurance is just this thing that you put up on a shelf. They think that you have to die to use it, and personally, you, the insured, will never actually benefit from it. I want to help you understand that that's not the case here. My team and I structure these policies in a way that allows you to use them for all of the living benefits they provide. Now, of course, we want your family to be protected and we want them to be provided for when you're gone. But we also want to give you the ability to access and grow your wealth over time so you can enjoy it too. That sounds like the better option, right? So when it comes to your cash value, there's 2 ways that you can access the funds. The first way is with a withdrawal, which is not something I would recommend doing early on in your policy's life. A withdrawal basically allows you to take money out of the contract. Think about withdrawing money from your bank account. Once you take it out, it's no longer in there, growing and earning that 0.5% that the bank wants you to think that you're absolutely the luckiest person to be getting. Well, the same goes for your policy. If you withdraw money, it's no longer in the contract, earning you guaranteed growth and guaranteed interest. Now, the second way of accessing those funds is by borrowing, aka taking a loan. This is definitely the best way to access the cash value in your policy because it allows you to use the life insurance company's money instead of your own money, which means our money stays within the policy, earning that uninterrupted compounding growth. You can literally just call up the life insurance company and say, hey, I'd like to take a loan for my cash value for $5K. They'll say,
yeah, no problem. Looks like you have about $8K in cash and a $500,000 death benefit to use as leverage. Do you want us to mail you the check, or would you like us to direct deposit it into your bank account in 2 to 3 days?
It's literally that simple. That's the secret sauce that allows me to keep my money growing while leveraging it to access OPM, other people's money, to go out and make money with. The best part is I'm in complete control the entire time. Now, the third point I want to share is around the topic of how much can I borrow? That question is really going to be determined by two things: how much you put in and how your policy is designed. Typically, here at the Cash Compound, you're going to get something between 30% base and 50% base, depending on your situation. What that means is if you're starting a $10,000 policy, between 30 and 50% of that $10,000 is going to be the base of the policy, which is the portion that pays for 95+% of the life insurance. That portion is extremely important, especially as time goes by. The remaining 50 to 70% is going towards the paid up additions. Remember, that's the instant liquidity portion of the policy. That's what provides that early cash value. So if your policy was 40% base and 60% PUA on a $10,000 policy, you'd end up having around $6,000 in liquidity to access within the first month. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, Shawn, why can't I borrow the whole thing? Because remember, to even be able to get a policy like this started, you need to purchase the foundational piece of the structure, which is the life insurance or death benefit. Think about it like starting a business you know is guaranteed to be successful. Any normal person who starts a business doesn't expect day one when doors open to be cash flow positive. No, there were almost certainly expenses that went into getting that business up and off the ground with the hopes that at some point it would be cash flow positive and you'd end up getting your money back, plus hopefully more. I want you to think about your policy like an ATM business. You had to purchase the ATM, you had to rent the location where it stands, you had to fill it with cash, all things that cost you money. But as time goes by and you use it more frequently, it's only getting better and better at kicking you back multiples of what you put into it. It becomes your own cash printing machine. Success is literally guaranteed. The question then is no longer, does this work? It's, how many of these money printing machines do I actually want? Again, it's extremely important to work with someone who knows how to structure the policy the correct way. There's a ton of people out there with whole life policies, but the majority of them are just generic, off-the-shelf whole life that you could get from Jake at State Farm. Granted, that's far better than having nothing, but it will take multiple years to start building up any real usable cash, and it doesn't give you anywhere near as much flexibility as a policy built correctly and designed specifically for you. Now, I want to make sure that I'm super clear on this. I'm not saying one is better than the other. What I'm saying is based on your wants and your needs, one of these style policies will help you reach your goals faster than the other, really depending on what that goal is. If you want to learn more about properly structured whole life built for infinite banking, then definitely click the link below, watch our full overview, and then hop on a quick call with me so we can discuss what it is that you're actually trying to accomplish and if this is the right move for you in the first place. If you currently have a whole life policy, but you had no idea it grew cash value, or if you want to see if it's structured for infinite banking, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to sit down, do a quick policy review with you, and explain exactly what it is that you have and how you could potentially use it. Okay, now, I know I touched on this before, but I just wanted to circle back to the question of when can I access my money, or when can I actually take a loan? If your policy is designed correctly, for example, by our team, you're essentially going to have access to that cash value right away. What I mean by right away is within the first 30 days. But personally, when I've started new policies, I've accessed it much faster than that. I'm talking about within a week. We tend to just say 30 days to give it some leeway. So we've touched on how to get the money out of the policy. You can either do it by a quick and easy phone call to the company, or you can log into your portal and submit a form that takes at most 3 minutes to fill out. The next point I want to discuss is, cool, great. I took a loan and I did what I need to do with the cash. How do I start to pay the policy back, and what are the rules around that? Luckily for us, this is a super simple process. You can, again, call up the company and tell them how much you want to pay back as a one-time payment or a recurring monthly payment. The amount that you pay doesn't matter, so that's important, but I'll explain that in a moment. And that's really option one. Call them up. Option two, you fill out that same 3-minute form online that I mentioned previously, and instead of requesting a loan, you check the box for loan repayment, and then you enter the amount. It literally couldn't be easier. The best part when it comes to utilizing and leveraging your policy is you're in complete control. The insurance company will never ask you,
Hey man, what are you using the money for? Or when do you plan on paying it back?
or any of those other stupid questions the bank might want to know. You are now both the bank and the borrower in this scenario, which means that, again, you're in control. You pay back when you want, as much or as little as you want, and no one will ever reach out asking about the loan. Now, I want to be clear again. Using this money isn't free. Remember, you got access to the cash through a loan. This isn't actually your money. Your money is still in the policy, compounding uninterrupted. You're using the insurance company's money with your death benefit as the collateral. That means that there's a cost to utilizing the loan feature of your policy. It tends to be right around 5% simple interest on the year. So, for example, if you borrowed $10K on day one of your policy and you didn't pay a single penny back for a full year, come your anniversary date, you would owe $500 in interest. Simple math. At that point, you have two options to pay the interest from your own personal cash flow and give yourself a whole nother year of having that 10K loan out, or pay the interest from your cash value in your policy, which would then increase the loan amount that you owe to $10,500 instead of $10,000. My suggestion is to always pay the loan interest with your own personal cash. Now, because it's a simple interest loan, as you make payments back to the policy, that amount of interest that you would owe on the 10K would be decreasing with every payment. So if you paid back, say, $5,000 over the course of the entire year, then the interest that you would owe come policy year end would only be $250. The loan rate is also prorated, which means if you take a loan out 6 months into your policy year, it's only going to accrue interest half of that year, meaning that same 10K loan that required a $500 interest payment for the full year if you didn't pay anything would only require a $250 loan repayment if you took it at 6 months into your policy and you didn't make any payments back. Hopefully that makes sense. It's pretty simple. The best part is, as you make loan payments back to the policy, that cash becomes immediately available for you to access via a loan again. Now, if something did happen to you while having your 10K loan out before you could pay any or all of it back, your family wouldn't have to worry. Whatever your death benefit is, let's say $500,000 in this scenario, that 10K loan would just be subtracted from your $500,000 death benefit, leaving your family with a $490,000 tax-free payment coming their way. All that to say, there is quite a bit of flexibility in how your policy loans work, how they can be taken, and how they can be repaid. At the end of the day, you're in control of the flow of your money, and you make the repayment schedule, which is the ideal situation to be in, knowing that life is literally always happening, and sometimes funds need to be redirected. I personally use my policy starting off to pay off $60,000 in student loans and high interest credit card debt. And I did it by simply funneling as much of my money into my policy as I could, then loaning against that policy to pay off those outside debts. The plan was to turn them into inside debt, or essentially debt within the policy that I controlled. Once I did that, I took all the payments that I was paying to those other third-party lenders, and I started funneling those payments back to my policy until my internal policy loans were paid off. Doing that not only allowed me to be in control of the repayment schedule, but it also allowed me to recapture all of the interest I would have otherwise paid to those third-party lenders and instead flow it into my policy, allowing me to recapture it and put it to work, growing my wealth and my death benefit. So I want you guys to understand, my goal with these videos is not only to show you that there's a better way to grow your money and start building wealth, but there's also a better way to stop giving away so much of your money and start recapturing some of those dollars that were previously leaking out of your system and going and making somebody else rich and wealthy just because they were in control of the banking function in your life instead of you being in control of the banking function in your life. My job is to help you with whatever stage that you're at, whether it's eliminating debt like I was in a more efficient way without losing future earning power of all of those dollars, or simply figuring out where to safely disperse your money to so you can really begin building and growing your passive income. If that's something that you'd be interested in learning more about, again, head down to the description below, check out my full save and spend system overview, and then book yourself a quick call so we can sit down and discuss exactly where you're at and where you want to be within the next 3 to 5 years. And don't forget, if you got some value from this video, please don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, make sure that you don't miss out on weekly educational content that I put out. As always, guys, the information is free, but the knowledge is priceless. Peace.